Robert here, Armed Vapor. That's me. Pardon me. Um, I got vape mail today. So what it was, well, Vaping Cookie, Lynette, a couple other people, that I watch on YouTube. Um, they love Mount Baker stuff. Now, granted, Cookie's having a little issue right now with some of their stuff, but for the most part, I decided, let me get a bunch of, little 15 mil bottles from Mount Baker and give them a try. And one thing's for sure, they are on the, they're much cheaper than where I was buying vapor from. So I got a whole bunch in here, like a whole bunch, like 9. Okay, and they actually threw one in. So I got them in the vape mail today from Mount Baker, and they send a nice little letter with it saying, thank you for being a client and stuff like that. And they also, please, give you a little instructions. Shake the juice well before each use. Since our juices, they're made fresh on the spot for you. Some may require some steeping time. Okay, so that's cool. And they also list here in their letter, please refrain from using the following flavors in plastic tank mods. And they give you a list: licorice, cinnamon, and citrus flavors, which include Ecto Cooler, Mount Dew Cola, Sweet Tarts, green apple, ginger, maraschino cherry. I need to try that one. Root beer, amaretto, lavender. So they give you some, nice information with the letter and your invoice that you get. So I thought that was rather kind of cool. Yeah. So, this is life with vaping, okay? That's what I'm all about. So, I got pink lemonade. I got green tea. Well, that was a freebie one they threw in, which is nice, Blood orange. Yeah, blood orange. Black licorice. Maple pecan. Cinnamon red hot, which is, the cinnamon stuff is my bag. Ecto Cooler. Afternoon delight. Moo juice. Okay, one of Vaping Cookie's favorite, but she's, pina colada. So I have these juices. Okay, by the way, I got them all in 12 milligram nicotine strength and 50/50 PG/VG. Now, here's what I like to do. These are unopened. Okay. And not that I'm a reviewer, okay, but I want to try all these out and relay the results to you guys, right? But how do you do that, right? I mean, even, Vaping Cookie, how do you really go about doing it? You don't want to fill up an Addy. Oh, let me have a toot. Oh, this one's not connected right. Sorry. Oh, I always have mini. Ooh. So it's like, okay, so here's what I figured I'd do. I have an iGo L dripping atomizer, drip atomizer. And I figured this would be perfect to try these out on, okay? Now, right now, it's currently a microcoil with cotton in there. And like I said in my last video, not sold yet on cotton. But I want you guys to be involved in how I go about testing these, okay? Why not have your input? How would you like to see these tested? Now, I can use, a microcoil with a cotton, or I could put silica wick in here with a standard wrap, or use it with a microcoil. And then what I would do is, okay, I set one up, try some juice, impart my wisdom, okay, as to what I experienced. And then, flush this out, clean it out, replace the cotton if it's cotton, and do the next one, and so on and so on. What would you like me to test it on? Silica with a standard wrap? A microcoil? Cotton? Let me know how you want me to do this. And is there any particular order you want me to go in? I'm not going to open these. I'm going to let them steep. Okay, I'm going to put these back on the shelf. I'm going to let these steep for at least a few days, okay? And then watch my comments. So make comments or email me at robert@armvapor.com. Tell me how you would like to see this done. So in the IGOL, do you want me to use silica? Do you want me to use cotton? Do you want me to use a microcoil? Do you want me to use a standard wrap? What do you want me to do? Let me know. If there's a certain way you want me to go about how to, what would you like to know? Okay, I mean, everybody, vapor production. Well, you guys can see what's coming out. I mean, ooh, that's good vapor. Ooh, that's shitty vapor. I mean, come on. Nobody tells you it's crappy vapor, really. Throat hit. It's 12 milligrams. They're all 12 milligrams. So they're either going to hit like 12 or, they're not. I mean, I guess I can tell you that. But I think the most important thing is really, what's the flavor, I guess? Not that anybody's opinion, whoops, let me do this. Not anybody's opinion. You know what this means, right? Yeah, you do, right. Everybody's, tasting is subjective. So I can only impart what my opinion is. What I experienced with the actual product. Because I guess once you find somebody who is, quote, reviewing different juices, if you find somebody that actually has sort of like the same taste as you do, great. That's somebody you want to pay attention to when you're doing these kind of vapor reviews, because it's like a movie review. I mean, once you find a couple of movie reviewers that have the same, insight into movies as you do, it's, you tend to take their review more seriously. Sometimes they make some bad reviews, right? Yeah. Ooh, this is great. Ooh, get this. Ooh. And you try and it's like, oh God, no way. This sucks. I mean, I got a draw fill of, juices that suck. Just absolutely suck. And anybody who's vaping knows, that's what happens. Until either one, you find a vendor that really hits the mark every time, or you find just a few that you want to consistently vape. But, every once in a while you want to go out and branch out and try stuff that's new. Okay. Again, I registered armvapor.com and lifewithvaping.com, and there's a website that basically points to the same videos. What else? Robert@armvapor.com. You can reach me at that email. You can, and don't forget, if you could please set aside October 5th at 9 p.m. Vaping Cookie and I hopefully will be on the VP Live Network doing a demo show. So hopefully that will work out. Right now, I guess tomorrow, Vaping Cookie is going to be having wisdom teeth extracted. So she's going to be out of commission for a few days. Okay. Went through that when I was 17 years old. All four of them. Boom. Out. Two of them were impacted. Okay. So anybody's gone through that knows what that looks. You look like a friggin' what? You're swollen and stuff. So, wishing her a speedy recovery from the wisdom teeth extraction. So please, comments, email me, what have you. How would you like me to go about testing these for you? Okay, I'm going to go and test them anyway, so I might as well, if you guys have a certain way you want me to go about this, silica or cotton microcoils, and I'm not sold on microcoils, okay? Little segue. Why am I not sold on microcoils? Well, I guess a little bit comes down to pure logic. IGOL performs great. This microcoil with cotton, not feeling the love here. Okay, now that has e-juice in it. Here's my K-Fun. It is also microcoiled with cotton. And I have the same exact same e-juice in here that I do here. Wow, no, it's better. Okay, better. Okay, now, here is an AGA T2. What anybody would say is a good entry-level, cheap Genesis atomizer if you want to start getting involved in Genesis atomizers. And it has the same e-juice in it as the IGO, IGO L and the K-Fun Light. Ooh. A little foggy in here now. Okay. Is there any wonder why I prefer Genesis atomizers over everything else? No comparison. No comparison. Flavor in a Genesis is by far, in my opinion, okay, superior to anything else I've ever had or tried. And quite frankly, now this I coiled a microcoil in this. Was it this morning? Yes, it was this morning. No, yes, it was this morning. And putting cotton in it. And put this same juice in here. And it performs fine. It performs fine. But before, I had silica in it with a standard wrap, okay? And it was just producing better flavor. So I'm going to continue to use the cotton for a while to see if somehow, it comes around or something changes. I don't know. Maybe the coil has to, I don't know, bed in, as some people say. And if things change, I'll let you know. But right now, it's like cotton is a very neutral taste. There is, maybe that's it. Maybe I like the taste of silica. I don't know. But silica definitely tastes different, okay, than cotton. And cotton has a very neutral non-taste, as far as I can tell, which also seems so far to import that's in part that same non-flavor to the juice I put in here. So I don't get it. Maybe as I become more experienced and a longer term vapor, and okay, maybe there's juices that just work better in certain types of setup. Some work great in cotton, but fail in everything else, and some are great in Genesis, but I haven't found Genesis to fail in anything yet. Maybe silica works better than cotton and other things. Maybe microcoil works better than a standard wrap and other. I don't know this yet. Okay, this is all an adventure, an exploration. I don't know, okay? And I don't necessarily, I haven't run across any information dealing with that aspect of it. So if anybody, leave your comments. How do you want me to test this e-juice, okay? So there's 10 different flavors that I have from Mount Baker Vapor. Yes. Shipping. I ordered them on Saturday. Okay, so, they got to make it, so the earliest it could actually get out in the mail was Monday, which that's when it went out in the mail, and I got them today. Now, these guys are in Washington State. Washington State, right? Washington State. Now, I had it shipped first class. What does it say? I don't know. Had it shipped first class package. First class mail package. and it's here Wednesday. From Washington State. Oh, pardon me. I'm in Florida. You know, I mean, I've seen stuff. I've had stuff. I've ordered some juice in a part of the state that was, I think, around the Tampa area. I won't give you the vendor's name. And in the same state, that product took 7 days to get to my house. And I live 80 miles north of Tampa. What? I mean, I tracked it. I'm watching it bounce up to all these different places, you know, in the state. And go, what's going on with this? 7 days in state to me, please? Are you kidding me? Well, what can I tell you? Oh, right. So, October 5th, 9 p.m., VP Live Network. I think that'll about do it right now. Cool. You know, comments, email me. Thanks. Have a great evening. Arm Vapor signing off. Brain fart time. Had to come back. Dealing with the coils, right? Microcoil, and I said, oh, it's logical, right? Logic. I think it might have something to do with surface area. That's what I'm referring to. You know, microcoil, by the time you get it done, you know, the thing is so small that it's, you know, that your wick or your cotton's going through, you know, it's not covering a large surface area. Whereas when you do a traditional wrap, it's the tendency is that it's covering more surface area of your wicking material. And that may make probably the difference as to the vaping experience, the vapor production, and maybe certainly flavor. So that's what I'm looking more into right now. And that's why I'm not sold on microcoils, because at least, you know, and I'm wrapping coils that are Canthol, 28 gauge, wrapped around probably, I think, a 2.5 millimeter diameter, I guess, somewhere in there. And, you know, that's, you know, so 8 wraps typically, okay? And that's the microcoils I'm creating. And when I'm creating a standard wrap, coil, I should say, then, you know, and, you know, they're more or less around the same ohm rating, I guess. So I just wanted to come back here and tell you that, you know, when I'm referring to, you know, logic, you know, I'm really talking about the surface area that the coil is covering on your wicking material. And that, to me, probably makes a lot of sense as to why microcoils, to me, are maybe not performing up to what I would like as far as imparting flavor. Just another one of my opinions right now. Okay, so again, Armed Vapor signing off for now. Till next time, thanks.